The Boston Celtics, I don't know if y'all know, they're talking about one of the better offenses in the history of the NBA. They're going out west. They got the Phoenix Suns tonight in a game that Chris Paul is expected to return after missing virtually a month. So it looks like it's going to be a pretty good game. You can find it on a four-letter network around at 10 o'clock Eastern time tonight. But the Celtics have the best record in the league. I'm very, very curious about the thoughts of the man that we're going to bring on next. A man who has never been in the same place, that I've never seen the same place, with Tay Diggs from The Best Man and The Best Man final chapters and all that, who was a writer, who also went to Syracuse, who's also actually at the same time, and it's actually my mentor. Actually, y'all, the person who was most responsible for me being the agitating rabble-rouser that you see before you today.
Sherrod, you just ruined it for the people. You just ruined it for the people, as usual, nephew.
I did.
Good to be here. Nice to meet you, Natalie.
Nice to meet you, too.
Way to class up the show. I appreciate y'all classing up the show. Thank you, Natalie. Thank you. Appreciate it.
But, thank you for saying that.
But Sherrod, I'm just very curious because I've watched the Celtics and I'm beyond impressed with all of the internal drama that we don't have to get into. Where I had a one magic flub up when I was with Jim Trotter and Holly that made the rounds through YouTube that I won't reference here, but I'm sure you can find it. With all the internal stuff, with Robert Williams III being a big part of the defense, not playing, having gone through surgery, are you surprised that the Celtics are clearly on another tier from every team in the NBA so far?
Well, let me just say that the journey that the Celtics have taken to get here has been a long one that I think not a lot of people thought that they would be where they're at now. They're head and shoulders above the rest of the NBA, and they're doing it in a way that no one really saw coming. You knew Tatum was going to do what Tatum does. He's a baller. That's what they do. And Jaylen Brown has been really good, but all those other side dishes, the side pieces, the guys that are in the suburbs have come together.
You can't say side pieces, Sherrod.
I just did.
Let the man speak. Go ahead.
You can't say side pieces.
See, Natalie,
given the Celtics.
See, you caught that, but you totally missed the long reference at the very beginning. But that's another story. Anyway, bottom line is the collective body, the collective group of the Celtics is getting it done in a way to complement their superstar players who are, again, playing at a level that I have never seen them play. I can look back at that Brooklyn game, and it really looked like Father Time was just like tapping Kevin Durant and Kyrie on the shoulder, and they're looking around, and next thing you know, you got Tatum going in for a layup. You got Jaylen Brown stealing their cookies and eating them, munching to the rim. Those two guys are on a different level right now, and the guys around them are stepping their games up to be right next to them.
Yeah, so the Celtics are right now, I think, they have the best record in the NBA, but I agree with Vince that they just look great. And they're just, sometimes with certain games you watch them play, like they're just blowing teams out. Like they're not even trying. I mean, they're just so dominant right now. Is there any concern for them, or do you have any concern as someone so familiar with the team that having this hot start, sometimes you can get off to like a really hot start and then fizzle. Is that any concern for you at all or the team?
I'm not that concerned about that, Natalie. And the main reason is because even though they're winning, obviously, a lot of games, they're not playing great basketball. I mean, basically what they're doing, their teams are playing them pretty toe-to-toe for the most part, and they just decide to just turn it up for like 5-6 minutes and blow teams out. And what they're doing, I don't know if it's going to go away because basically they're making a ton of shots, and the reason why they're making a ton of shots is because everybody's open. The ability that Tatum has to draw attention, the ability that Jaylen has to draw attention, and the ability of their guys around him to knock down open shots, it forces teams to not be able to double team, to tilt, to blitz as much as they want to, because all Tatum and Brown are doing is giving up the pill, and guys are either knocking down those shots or they'll wait till the defense gets back into man-to-man coverage and swing it back to the stars who are knocking down shots. And defensively is where I think the Celtics are to me, that's what makes them scary, because they have not been a very good defensive team. And yet you look at the last 10 games, they're ranked, I think, 12th in the NBA in defensive rating. Yeah. And that's only going to get better when Robert Williams III, a.k.a. Time Lord, comes back to the scene. And that, again, this is a team that is playing exceptional basketball right now that has key elements that are going to return and get better. And they have been killing the load management game like nobody. Tatum, you get a day off. We still win by 15. Jaylen, you get a day off. We might win by 10. Marcus, Al, y'all all get days off. They're doing an Oprah. They're giving the Oprah treatment to the days off, and they're winning.
I had the Oprah meme in my head, so it's so funny that you said that.
You get a day. You get a day. No, but
and we still gonna win by 10. Right.
And we still gonna win by 10. Sherrod, you have covered championship teams and championship style teams. Like contending has kind of followed you for the past 20 plus years. It's like the Sherrod Blakely stimulus package. You know what I mean? Like you covered championship teams in Detroit. And then when you saw you saw stuff going the other way, you was like, let me get up out of here and go to Boston. Very rarely do black men flee to Boston and prosperity finds them. But you seem to have figured out the game on that one. But when I look at Jayson Tatum,
I had to bring that up.
I did. A whiteout in Game 4 of the NBA Finals just stuck the hell out of me. A whiteout in Game 4 of the NBA Finals in Boston. Whatever. But to my point, Sherrod, you've been around Jayson Tatum since he was a rookie. Mm-hmm. I did not see him developing into this level of shot maker and complete player. I never saw him, even though he could have been the number 1 pick that year and Danny Ainge swindled him, he swindled Philadelphia and everything else. I did not see Jayson Tatum as number 1 pick with the Duke pedigree and everything else developing into an MVP type of player because I didn't see the athlete in him. Do you see that he's gotten to that next level? Is he truly in that upper echelon where you're talking about Steph and you're talking about Giannis and you're talking about Luka Doncic or whoever you want to put in that top 3 of basketball player category? Is he now there, or is he just playing at a high level?
He's there. And I'm going to tell you why he's there. When you look at him play now, the ball boys have a real easy job because you know when guys are out there, they got to go out and get this and wipe the sweat off with the little rags and stuff. There's no sweat coming off him, and he's still giving you 30, 7, 8 rebounds, 4, 5 assists, and he's doing it. He's light work is what he's doing to cats out there. And I didn't think that he would be as complete as he is right now, but I knew he had the potential. I go back to when he was a young kid just playing bitty ball. And when, his dad, told me a story, years ago about how, Jayson was playing really bad basketball. And he just went out there and he got in Jayson's face, jacked up this little 8, 19-year-old kid and said, you're not playing, you're playing like crap. And Jayson went out and dropped like 30, 40 points in the second half. And he was like, and that's when his dad knew this kid, he might have something. And Jayson, I think, has always had that killer in him. It's just that now we're starting to see it on a consistent basis. And the thing that people have to remember is that it's not like he was an old player when he came to the league or even average. He was not, in Boston, the big joke was that Jayson was 19 for like first 3 or 4 years in the league. He was 19. Now he's like a 24-year-old stud who has the experience of making deep playoff runs damn near every year. And now you don't worry about Kyrie. You don't worry about, Isaiah Thomas or not Isaiah Thomas, but just a lot of the bigger name players that he has had to kind of share the spotlight with. It's all him. And Jaylen Brown is doing his part to be that nice 1B or number 2 option. But Tatum is, look, physically speaking, he's had the tools to be a great player. I just didn't think they would come together the way they have at both ends of the floor because I knew he could get buckets, but his defense has been real all NBA-ish lately.
Oh, so I have 2 questions. I'm sorry to throw 2 at you, but I need to know.
Bring it on, Natalie. We got you.
So
beware.
I remember a time when people were just talking about splitting up Jaylen and Tatum. And now that looks like the craziest notion to ever have thought of. But Jaylen is also having an incredible season. I'm a huge Tatum fan, always have been. But do you think Jaylen still has like another level to get to where Boston could legit have like 2 superstars, like a top 5 player and a top 10 player? That's the first question.
Oh, absolutely. And I think the biggest, the big thing with Jaylen is just his handle. He gets that handle a little bit tighter. You can't guard him because right now you damn near can't guard him when he goes to the cup. And if you give him a 3 ball, he's knocking that down with regularity. The minute he gets to the point where he tightens up that handle and he's not committing a lot of unforced turnovers, he becomes unstoppable. So now all of a sudden you got 2 unstoppable cats, both of which are, and this is the crazy part, they're not even at their peak game. When I look at this Celtics team, they remind me of a younger version of that 2008 Celtics team where you had Kevin Garnett, Ray Allen, and Paul Pierce, who I thought were in SOS mode, state of stability. Where they were at that point, they weren't going to get any better because they were at the top of the mountain. Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown are damn near at the top of the mountain, and they looking up and like, yo, we still got another level or two we can go, and we're still killing these cats right now. That's the kind of scary part about this team with me. They got their two go-to guys who have the ability to dominate already, and they're not even at peak game shape yet in terms of what they can do. So, yeah, Jaylen is an absolute killer, and Tatum is too.
Okay, and so on this day right now, it's very early. We're not voting. I'm not a voter. But should Jayson Tatum be considered the front runner for MVP right now? I think when I saw like NBA.com's last list, he was at the top. But I just feel like all I hear is Luka, 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 Luka buzz. And I'm like, why is Luka getting consideration? Jayson Tatum is playing incredibly, and he's leading the best team in the NBA.
Yeah, I'm going to let Vinny get into his reasons why Luka is leading, because I know Vinny, he's one of mine. So I'm going to let him go there. But I'm going to say this. Tatum is without question the best player in the NBA right now. He is scoring at a high clip. He's rebounding. To me, I have
best
what I
player
call
or playing the best?
He is the best player right now.
Woo!
And I'm gonna tell you why he's the best player. Because every time that dude suits up on the floor, on a bad night he's getting you 25. On a bad night he's giving you 25, and they're beating you by 12. That's when you know you're a great player. When you don't have to be great and your team can step up and fill that void, and you still put up big numbers. His ability to score, rebound, defend, pass the ball, and make his teammates better, which to me is the essence of greatness. When those around you are better, that's why I'm not on the Luka train, because I don't see cats stepping their game up with Luka on the floor. I look around at the Celtics. Derek White is shooting damn near 40%. Grant Williams, damn near 40% for three-point range. They've never done that before. And Tatum's ability to be on the floor has a lot to do with that. Yes, he's the best player in the game right now. Ooh, absolutely.
I can't co-sign that, but okay.
And don't bring up street clothes. Do not bring up street clothes in this conversation, because he is not that dude.
Okay, now I wasn't bringing up street clothes. You know, Natalie is a member of Gold Blooded Hive, so you know where she's going. No. I am an impartial voter here with no favoritism or anything like that. I believe the best player in the game. I believe the best player in basketball. His birthday was yesterday. So he's a Sagittarius like me, which means he's got all the calm, but there's a fire brewing underneath. Y'all know that man, Giannis?
That's a more acceptable answer.
That's the best player in basketball.
I mean,
he's that guy. Like we're not really having a discussion. Like there's a tier, Sherrod, and Jayson Tatum might be in that tier. But Giannis is at the top of the tier.
Giannis got the chip.
Yes.
Giannis has the chip, and I will give you that. I will give you that. But listen,
you're not going to put Jayson Tatum over Stephen Curry yet, when he just killed him last year in the finals, and Steph is also playing.
You said last year, right?
It doesn't matter. Okay. Steph is still playing. Okay. He's still having an incredible season this year. So yeah.
And his team is having a great season too. Oh wait, no, they're not.
That's they're not. But that's okay. Neither were the Celtics last year, but they got there. It's all right. You don't got to worry about 4-time champions. They'll turn it around and fix it.
Yeah. Draymond, Poole. That's gonna be. I can't wait for the pool party come playoff time.
Would you like a rematch? Would you like to see that? Do you think they'd want that? Assuming that would be much more enjoyable than Suns, right?
That. I think everybody wants that because here's the thing I love about Golden State. First of all, I like Golden State's player. I like the way they play. I like the edge that Draymond brings to the game. You will never, ever, ever hear me criticize Draymond for that edge. He can take it a little too far, but I love it anyway.
Habitual line stepper. Habitual.
You know what? But Vinny, I covered the Pistons, so you already know. One of my favorite players is Rasheed Wallace, as you know. So don't talk to me about crossing the lines. I will rock with the guys that cross lines, because the guys that cross lines are about one thing: winning at all costs. And if that means hurting your feelings in the process,
self-control.
Oh, he gets a lot of control. I give it that. But I can rock with that. I absolutely can rock with that, because he's all about winning. I'd rather him go out of control trying to win than be sedate and sedity and just want to compete. Nah. Competing is for those 28 other squads in the league. I'm rocking with them.
And I love the Celtics, for the record, just so, like, they are my second favorite team. So I want to see a rematch.
I just think fans want to see that.
Yeah.
Because that's serious. And Tatum, and we found out after the fact, Tatum had a little wrist issue that he was dealing with. Didn't talk about it during the playoffs because he knew you can't win that conversation. If you say you're hurt, they say you're soft. And if you play through it, they say, well, damn it, you hurt the team because you played. So just keep your mouth shut and keep it moving.
Right.
And talk about it afterwards. But bottom line is this. I think Golden State is going to be a team that's going to get better as the season progresses. I do. And I look out west, and I don't feel there's a lot of teams that make me, if I'm in the East,
shouldn't.
There's nobody that you're scared of. Nobody that you're worried about other than Golden State, because Golden State has been there, done that before. The biggest challenge the Celtics will have is getting out of the East, because Milwaukee is going to be trouble. I don't know what to make of when Chris Middleton gets back. I don't know how that's going to affect things. And you never know about something like Cleveland is a team I like a lot in the East. They're young. They got some growing pains to go through, but they are one of the teams that has had the Celtics number. They've beaten them twice. And so there's a lot of teams in the East that I think could potentially make the Celtics path a little bit harder. But I want Golden State to be there because I think that would be frankly, will be the two best teams at the end of the day playing for the chip.
I like you, Sherrod.
This ain't pick your opponent. This ain't.
But that's what's gonna happen.
Listen, Eastern Michigan. You just relax a second, Mr. Eastern Michigan. All right, let the grown folks have a conversation. We'll bring you in when it's time to bring you in, nephew.
I need you here all the time when Vincent is here.
Show some respect for your co-host, nephew. Come on, damn.
You are lucky. You are my mentor.
You know I love you, boy.
And I respect my elders, Sherrod Blakely. I appreciate you. Have all the jokes y'all can at my expense, but I root for West. That's why I want Miami, LA. I don't want none of y'all teams.
Hey, thanks for watching Brother from Another on YouTube. Make sure you hit subscribe before you leave, and be sure to watch us 3 to 5 p.m. Eastern Time on Peacock. Appreciate you.